Hey everybody, so today I'm going to mill up some of this leftover maple that fell when we first moved down here. And what we've got is, this was what's left of the tree that I used an Alaska mill to make the slabs that we made, both our master bath counter, the light over the kitchen island, and then we made several other countertops. So we still have some big slabs of it. What I'm going to do is take these, like I said, we basically just use this as scrap to weight down the planks that we made, or the slabs that we made. And I'm going to take these, now that they're dry, these have been inside the house for not quite 3 years, but almost that. And we're going to slice them up. So hope you like it. We're going to use our Woodland Mills HM126 and make some slabs. Alrighty, this is just kind of an experiment anyway, but what I've got is, this piece was too wide to put on the bunks and then have the dog hold it. So I've rotated it around, and I'll make a flat surface here just to narrow the thing down a little bit to be able to lock it in there. And then the back side of this, because I use a chainsaw mill to cut this, it's wavy as heck and it's not any kind of straight or anything. So I'll leave that down once I've made it narrow enough to fit through the mill, and then I'll start taking my slabs off this side. And what we want is some 2-inch slabs of this dried seasoned maple. It has come out really pretty on some other projects, so here we go. Look at that grain. That is some beautiful. This is spalted maple, which spalted, my understanding, just means it's maple that has some kind of fungus growing up through it. But yeah, that's going to come out really nice. So now that it'll fit in the bunks with the lock on, I'll put the lock on this side and I'll just start slabbing up. So the majority of it will have live edge on both sides, and then I'll probably get one slab out of it that just has live edge on one side. And then my goal is the last inch of this will just kind of be scrapped because it's not square or straight or anything on that cut anyway. But we should be able to use it, and that'll keep me from cutting through my log stops, which here lately on the Woodland Mills forum seems to be everybody's most popular hobby. Which, you know, as long as you're enjoying your meal. Okay, so I've got one lock dog, or dog lock, whatever, dog lock. So I've got one lock on it, and I've got that position right at the bottom so I can cut as low as I can get. And I've got my log stops down, so hopefully won't cut them. And we'll start slabbing this out, see what we get. I bought this bark spud off Amazon, and I wanted to get the one from PV Manufacturing because I've got their PV and I love that tool. But the shipping was almost more than the tool from them. So something about that just irks me. So I bought this one, and we're gonna try it out. Well, that piece was already loose, I believe.
Yeah.
Got it good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how well these are supposed to work. This has been drying and seasoning for almost 3 years. And the bark is coming off of it. But honestly, I've never had any issues that I know of from just sawing through the bark. I always try to keep the logs from dragging in the mud or anything. And even as loose as this bark was, as much work as that was, I think I'll just go back to cutting through it. And I'm sure there's probably a different or better way to do this, but I'm a pretty simple person, and it seems like a bark scraper, you would scrape along the bark.
I concur.
Yeah.
That does seem logical.
And it took off all of it until I got to right in here. And this seems to be a little better attached than what that other was. So this bark spud was fairly inexpensive, but I have to tell you that I don't see, this is probably going to be a wall hanger tool for me. Your mileage may vary. Look at this. I wonder if that's like some of the mold stuff that made this spalted maple. That's right. Wouldn't that be some kind of mold or something growing on that?
I honestly do not know if that is
like a burl
caused by the thing or a branch didn't grow. It looks like a burl, but I am not an expert on these things.
All right. Well,
yep. We'll find out.
We'll saw it up. So much for the bark spud. I'm gonna say that was probably, I could have sent it back, except I've already used it now. And I think I've owned it about 2 weeks.
Well, it's a very cute little tool.
Yeah, it is cute.
It'll look good on the wall.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. some beautiful maple. What I found out was 7 turns on my particular mill comes out at a 2-inch slab. So your mileage may vary. It's hot out here today. Make sure you hydrate. Okay, what happened there, I didn't hit anything, but the blade would clear that. But because this guide was so much, this guide almost hit that. This guide would have hit the edge of this. So I just knocked it down out of the way, and it didn't seem to be any worse for wear since the saw blade's pushing it that way anyway against the stops. Okay, I'm gonna slice up these last two, and it's pretty much the same as what the rest of them have been. But then we'll go in and I'll show you what pile of wood we ended up getting out of this spalted maple that was actually brought down by a windstorm right before we moved in down here. And we used an Alaska mill to slab it out. We've done several projects with it, and now we're just cutting up this stuff that is dry. One thing, I see a lot of questions about milling dried lumber, and this is the first dried lumber that I've done. And like I said, it's been dead for about 3 years, and it's been inside that barn, air conditioned and air controlled anyway, whatever they call it. I don't know. We've got dehumidifiers running all the time, so it's a conditioned space. It's not the same as just sitting outside under a roof. And this stuff is extremely dry, and honestly, it's cut as good, actually probably better than about anything I've done. I've not run any water on the blade at all on this, and it's cutting really well. So thanks a lot for watching. Hey everybody, so we are inside now, and we've got our maple slabs. We ended up with 8 full thickness, which is like
a little over 2 inches.
Yeah, just over 2 inches average on these maple slabs. And then I've got 8 of these, and then I've got several that were the bottom part of that are just under 2 inches. And then I brought all of the scrap in because, like I said, if we know anybody that's got a lathe, some of these would work. This is actually a nice burl that I cut through on that part of it, so I brought it in. I'm not sure if we can do anything with that or not. But
You might make that a shelf.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Flatten the other side and just mount it that way.
I like how those grain comes in.
Yeah. That'd look cool. Or maybe take a slot out and make a floating shelf out of it. That would look awesome.
Awesome. A lot of people talked about on milling dried lumber or aged boards rather than green ones. And that's got some really pretty color in that too. Spalting. And honestly, this is the first board or, logs that I've milled that haven't been green. And I think honestly, milling them out when they're dried was just as easy, if not easier, than doing any of the green stuff. So I don't have a lot of, actually this was the only dried log that I've got. Everything else is green. But if I had dried or old logs that have been down for a period of time, I wouldn't hesitate to mill them up. Like I said, it actually might have been easier than some of the green ones I've done. And the results are really nice. The nice thing is, since this was so dried, these they don't need, clamped down or anything. They should stay flat.
The way they are, yeah.
And so we've got 8 slabs ready to use, and we'll put them to use.
Yep. This is gonna be your desk.
Oh yeah, I do have right now I've got a plastic desk. And so this nice maple will probably make a really nice desk. So
It's gonna be gorgeous.
All righty, well, that's our dried maple logging milling video.
Yep.
Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we do love your comments.
See ya.
Have a good one, y'all. See ya.
Bye.